Hello, welcome to Airing It Out. I'm Josh,
And I'm
and this
Jonas.
is Jerry, and he's having a wee nap
I
today.
think he's just a bit hungover, it seems.
No,
Like
hang
he's
on.
hungover on the side.
I thought you were making a joke because all our wines disappeared all of a sudden.
Oh, or what?
oh,
Uh,
oh, now we know the culprit.
so, what?
No, yeah, we thought we'd just give you guys a wee update on all stuff us.
Classic airing it out. What is up in our lives?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So lockdown is over
Officially in the
officially.
UK.
We are free to meet people as long as there's a lot of like rules and guidelines to still follow,
Yes.
but we're free to go outside. So we thought we'd talk about what we're up to, give a wee update on our movie, and see where conversation leads us.
Yeah.
Maybe talk
As
about some
always.
more controversial stuff. I
Oh,
don't know. Could be fun.
exciting. Now you teased it.
Now I teased
So
it. It's
maybe
like,
we'll have to at some point.
I think there's stuff going on that
There's
needs
a
to
lot
be
of stuff
talked
going
about.
on in the world for sure, and that's also affecting us. And we've spent a good 2-3 hours today just discussing them.
Yeah, I woke up and was
So
like, I want to chat. But we do that a lot of times, as I'm sure you can realize. Like the way we talk about movies here is the way we talk about most issues that we have
most stuff.
opinions and knowledge on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I think
Wow.
as you can see, I'm in my pajamas. Jerry's having a go. I don't know what bottoms you're wearing.
Shorts.
Shorts.
It is.
Yeah,
It is definitely that time of year where even Scotland is just too warm
it's
for.
I think
Yeah.
this is the thing because I've spent a bit of time in Greece working there and stuff, and
Mhm.
like all the people abroad are always like, oh, you complain when it rains all winter. I even remember like with the storms we had, and I was like, see, when people complain when it's sunny, it's going to be really
Yeah.
annoying. But it is different now because we're stuck inside, and our houses just aren't made for this.
Yep.
There's no air conditioning, and obviously because it is usually really cold, we've got mad insulation. So as soon as it gets to 20 degrees, it's like 25, 30.
Or I think in a lot of flats, well, maybe not in ours, but in a lot of flats, there's just no insulation. So you're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get
like if you're
like,
in the top, you get the sun straight in, and that's
yeah,
it.
and it's boiling. Like, I mean, that's
No.
it's the same with double glazed windows. They're gonna be really cold because, well, if you don't have them, it's gonna be really cold because they have the draft coming in. But if it's warm,
Yeah.
it's just like you
Yeah.
have the full
No, we
front.
tend to be fine throughout the day, and then as it gets to the evening, like the heat's just
It's just
build up. So usually by like dinner time, I'm sitting there like, whew,
yeah.
so we're
Yeah.
definitely feeling a little bit lethargic. Just
Sometimes
taking it slow.
I've definitely had a couple of days like those this week already.
But
What
no,
day is it? Thursday. Huh?
generally we wake up at 10 to 11.
Let's say we,
Fair
we
enough.
make it we make it out of the room
By 11.
by 11. Some
So
of
you
us.
don't need to get up.
No, that's true. There's no. We don't. We neither of us have a routine that demands us getting up at a certain point. Like sometimes, yeah, I've started singing lessons,
Mhm.
and so those are usually on Thursdays, um, and so I do have to get up for those.
Mhm.
They also are on at varying times, so they
Yeah.
could be like at 10:30, like they were today, like it was today, or it could be as late as 12. So
Yeah, there's still. I mean, even that's a late start anyway.
it's a late
So
start. It's a
you
very
get away
comfortable
with it.
start. But
Um,
yeah. So very chill mornings always.
Chill mornings. Yeah, we've
Taking our
taken
time.
to eating breakfast while watching. Oh, you alright?
Something in my eye.
Yeah, we've
Tasteful.
taken to eating breakfast while watching esports, which fair enough.
Usually we pair our food consumption with
Media consumption.
media consumption.
Yeah.
Because then I think that also leaves a bit more time to do something else when we're not.
Yeah, I think it definitely breaks up. It's like, okay, if we're gonna watch this, we'll watch it with food, and then it's like, okay, cool. That gives us. I mean, that's why I like it. Is like the game's usually an hour,
Uh-huh.
so you're like, okay, that's an hour. You can eat what you want to eat, and then we'll crack on.
Yeah.
Which is why I like it because I think 20 minutes is usually too short. So we're also still plodding through Clone Wars.
Mm.
But 20 minutes, you kind of get sucked into, okay, well, we'll do a couple episodes.
Yeah.
And if you get in a plot thread that's like 5 episodes long, you're watching all five. And then
Mm.
before you know it, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're like, oh, okay, there's the day.
Yeah.
Um,
That's definitely more of an evening thing.
yeah.
No.
But then we'll usually record this, be it so every other day we're playing Metro at the moment,
Yeah.
or our retrospectives, or this.
I don't know. I feel like mornings are usually for me to get my stuff done, be it ready emails or if I wanna, I don't know what I do these days. Look something up on the internet.
Fair.
There's not a whole lot that I
See, I do
just
all my
do
news
by
and
myself.
whatnot, like
Yeah.
news, emails.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any important emails to send at the moment, so I just kind of
Mm.
flick through, see what's
No,
going on.
sometimes. No, but I think like as soon as you hit the afternoon, we're either getting into recording then lunch or lunch then
We
recording.
usually record after lunch because lunch and
Usually.
breakfast are the same meal, and I don't function well with
For you,
food.
yeah.
There's a few times where I'm like,
Definitely
can we
not for
just
me.
record later on? Because I just can't. I'm not feeling it.
I just don't like. I feel like your breakfast is always just a snack to
I have two
bridge
slices of toast.
bridge you to lunch.
Yeah.
Whereas like I actually have breakfast.
No, I usually have breakfast. We have a wee chat about whatever's been on our minds,
Yeah.
and then I'll actually eat something.
Whatever has come up
In the world.
in the world in the sleep times. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird dreams.
Yeah.
For you at least, I
I
don't
got some
remember.
mad, like, living real dream.
That's always the best thing when Josh comes out. Is like, I had this really weird dream where I didn't know whether or not I was dreaming. I was like, surely you know.
No, I never. I mean,
When that comes up,
the annoying one I had recently was I was like living a normal. Like, I get a lot of dreams that is just like a normal day.
yeah.
And there's always one thing that's off. So like
Mhm.
I was at uni in my school building and was like, but it's not weird enough to really like
Mhm.
click. So I was just like, okay, something's wrong. And then I remember realizing that I was dreaming at a certain point and was
Mhm.
like, ah, okay.
That's why something is off.
No, but like I was like, so up until this point, I must have fallen asleep and been napping. And
Oh,
everything else followed
okay.
except this one bit, and I was like, oh, I must have just passed out and dreamt about that. And then it was only like I don't know, 20 minutes of in dream time, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Whatever that corresponds to in real life. That I was like,
Mm.
how did I get here in the first place? And I was like, mother, like this is all wrong, isn't it? And then I woke. I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna wake myself up now. And you wake up and you go, cool, great. And I was annoyed because that day I did a lot of the odd jobs that I needed doing. This was like a week or two ago. This
Mhm.
happened now, and I remember like we had a lot of technical stuff needed figured out, and I spent a lot of time in the dream world figuring it out. But of course, it was all made up, so none of like the
Yeah.
settings that I changed were even real. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I know. At least I know what to do. And I was like, I have no idea.
No.
I've just made it up. So I was annoying
Brilliant.
because you wake up and you're like, oh, I've actually done all of this already. But
Yeah, then it feels tiring because you've been through the whole shenanigans.
well, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I guess.
but it's always a fun start into the
Yeah,
day
I think
for
I had
me.
one last night where I was like, I was with one of my mates and they dyed their hair red, like a kind of dark red.
Mm.
I woke up and texted them. I was like, don't do that.
Oh.
It didn't suit you at all. They were like, wasn't gonna. I was like, yeah, no, I just confirming that you don't.
Imagine if they did though, you'd be like, I'm psychic.
I did it last night. How did you know? I'm like, oh,
Oh,
it doesn't look good. No,
Don't send me a picture. Yeah.
But no, I don't know why. I was just like, no, it was definitely, but your hair was red and
That's funny.
it just didn't suit.
I don't know, it's a bit of a shame because like I can remember my dreams like for like maybe 10 minutes. So when I
Yeah.
wake up and I'm like, no, I want to continue the stream, and I like just
Pass back out.
pass back out and like keep it sleeping for whatever it is, if it's
Yeah.
just 10 minutes. So that works. So that I'm like, oh, this was my dream, I'll go back into it. But I very quickly forget it as soon as I'm like properly awake.
Okay. Yeah, see, sometimes I struggle to fall asleep a lot of the time, so I
Mhm.
sleep to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're really like I don't want to listen to stuff that's just boring.
Uh-huh.
But I do listen to podcasts like ours that I think are really interesting. And this is what I'd strongly recommend you do if you're struggling to fall asleep too. Fall asleep to our beautiful tones.
Yes, please.
Yes, because it means it runs on after.
Yeah.
But if I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, I was actually quite engaged in that, so I'll like just without really looking at my phone. So my phone usually just sits here, so
Incredible.
I'll just like track back to about 15-20 minutes in, because that's usually how long it takes me to get to sleep.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, oh, this is cool. This is new. I'll go back to bed at 8-9 o'clock. Yeah, that's how I do it. And then I usually like because the topic that I'm listening to is the same. The dream is usually the same too.
Interesting.
It's good.
Like the same dream from the very start, from the
No.
very beginning?
But
Okay,
the
that'd be
same-
strange.
the same- yeah.
That'd be crazy if you like just go relive the entire
No,
thing.
you can get back into. I mean, sometimes it's not a very nice dream, and then you're like, oh, I'll just
Maybe.
change it up.
Yeah. Absolutely. No. But I guess that's just how we kind of whittle our way to lunchtime recording. Obviously, we have to always record sooner than later because it does take some time to get
Render
everything
then upload. Yeah.
rendered and uploaded.
Uh,
And if we need to fix something,
yeah. So it was yesterday's video actually. It went up and just looked wrong. And I was kind of watching. I was like, some things happened. So I went and watched the raw footage, and it was fine. I was like, okay, the render has gone off. It was my fault, as always. But I fixed it. So deleted the old video, re-rendered it, uploaded it, and I mean, it went out super late, but it did hit the 3rd of June. So I count that as a success. Um, but
well
yeah.
done.
Thank you. I think it was midnight. I mean, ended up going to bed at 4 by the time it.
Yeah, you texted me like,
processed.
"Oh yeah, the video is up now at 3 something," and I was this morning. I was like, "Awesome,
Great. I want to make sure it works. I didn't
Yeah.
want to just leave it. I didn't want to leave my PC on overnight and then wake up and it not worked again. Because I've had
Yeah.
one where the internet crashed because Virgin Media. Um, and then I like came back to, I think we were eating dinner, came back, and it was stuck at 14% uploading. And I was
Yeah.
like,
No, and it's
3
always
hours.
it's always stuff like uploading doesn't mean that it's actually fully out there because it still has to go through the process.
So it
of getting
processes
to
it
HD.
twice. So it processes it once in a standard definition, so like 380, 480p.
Just
And that
really
takes
bad.
about 20, 30 minutes.
Mm.
And then it processes it again to get to HD, which takes another good couple hours. And then it's a while before we can see any stats on that either.
Mm.
So to really know that it's worked and done okay takes ages.
Yeah.
But we usually give it time, so I mean we're recording it. We're a bit late because we did chat so long today. But
Yes.
we're fine. We're
It's
fine.
gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
But yeah, usually so the video renders take about as long as the video.
Well, the render itself.
The render itself.
Yeah.
So while that happens, you usually do some sing-song practice.
I do some sing-song practice. I gotta work on my songs, on my technique a little bit. Also playing the guitar. I started playing a little bit.
A little
Don't
bit.
do it as often. Like at least this week I haven't. But either that or I've since 2 days ago started playing The Witcher.
Hey!
Yes.
How are you finding it? You've only done like what, 4 hours? Give or take.
Yeah, surely not more than that, to be honest.
Are you still in White Orchard?
Yes.
Oh, you fought the Griffin.
I've not fought the
You're
Griffin.
still in White Orchard.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this was.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, I'm definitely. Well, the thing is, I'm taking my time. Also reading through all the things, so I went into the menus and like read through the character descriptions because I don't want to feel like I'm behind because I haven't played the other games. I haven't done any of the other stuff like read the books or I literally my only background is the Netflix TV series, and so I want to make sure that I get everything I can. But I think it's a really cool game, just in terms of like you absolutely figure everything out. So like the whole searching for clues. I think that was just the mission of the Noon Wraith or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Devil by the Well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you search for the clues and then you can go into your demon whatever bestiary, which I had only found I think 10 minutes earlier by clicking through my entire menu. I was like, oh, and this is there. I can look up and I can also see what their weaknesses are. And like, if I hadn't done that, I definitely wouldn't have defeated the beast by
yeah, because you have to use Iridium, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's very cool. I think I like that because it makes you pay attention and also actively look for and engage with the environment.
Yeah. No, I'm a little worried that me gushing over it is gonna like taint your opinion. I know I'm quite bad for that. If someone like sets an expectation, so when someone's like, "Oh, this is the greatest TV show that ever was or will be," and you watch it and you go, "It's alright." So I think Breaking Bad for me suffered in that regard. So it was like people said it was the best thing that has ever touched their screen. And I watched and I was like, "This is really good TV," but it's not that.
Yeah,
you know, like I've seen better. I've seen quite a few shows I think are better than Breaking Bad, and I'm just like, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I'd give it a solid like 8 to 9 out of 10, depending on the season. But like, it's not as good as some other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And by people gushing over it, because my expectation was so high, so I'm a little worried because I mean, Witcher is my favorite video game,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I definitely talk about it a lot. The map
You have made
is
it very clear.
that one.
No, this corner.
No, this is Paris. It's this corner.
Yeah, this corner.
We're struggling with the camera.
Where my hand is now. Jesus Christ.
Content.
Yeah.
Um,
No, you have made it very clear that Witcher is your favorite game, and that's probably the reason why you urged me or strongly encouraged me to get the game. No, but it is certainly a very good game.
yeah.
Like that's quite clear, and you can already tell that.
Yeah,
It definitely has a story. Like it's thought through, and the whole like dialogue that you're also in control of, I think is very cool, because you're like, I want to be a bit more badass here. I want to also like there's some dialogue that you can just skip over and has no effect, and some dialogue that has an effect on your story.
Yeah, you can choose how long the game is and how much you kind of get immersed in that world really easily.
And I'm like, definitely at this point, I'm also like, I just want to know everything, so I go through every.
I did that the entire game.
Yeah, every piece of dialogue, just like, because I'm curious about the game, and so I guess The Witcher is also has to be
in
my
you
behalf.
gotta know. I mean, it's stuff like you can ask questions about the Griffin, or you can just not. It's like, surely you would, like, yeah. But I think it's nice because obviously it is a long game. It's a similar length to Red Dead 2, if not slightly longer. And I think for the kind of casual gamer audience, it's nice that they can experience a still tight rounded story, but it doesn't have to be hundreds of hours. You can just play the main quest line. Which is pretty well balanced, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
I'm also slowly starting to figure out the combat stuff.
Getting there. Mash. Click.
No,
I can hear him just like. I figured out I don't have to mash.
A lot more attack, dodge, attack, dodge. But
This is your first third-person like sword fighting game, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not the easiest.
No, it's definitely a learning curve, especially on mouse and keyboard.
No, I mean, the whole thing is like you have so much more. I have so much more at my disposal that I'm not using yet, because I feel like I'm gonna have to learn these two things parallel. Then I can get the proc parry in, for example, and then I can get all the spells in that I need. Yeah,
I'm not giving him any hints.
Yeah.
The stuff I watched you fight some wolves.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not figured out.
Yeah.
this or this yet. But you will, because I didn't get any clues either. So
no, and I mean, it took me. I've only sat down to play it twice, and the second time I was already like, okay, I need to change up my controls, because that's not. I made an error there, and so that might still happen. It's just, especially like my thumb buttons for the mouse, like they just got to be in the right position. So those are definitely always things that I want easily accessed. But like, it's also just you gotta
get
learn.
Used to it.
You gotta teach yourself where that is to make the fast connection. Yeah.
Fair. But while you've been doing that,
yes, tell us about.
Been training.
Yes.
So usually while the video renders, I'm doing a course to become a NLP therapist. Wow.
Tell us more about that, Josh.
What does it stand for?
What does NLP stand for?
Do you know what it stands
for? Neuro learning.
No, is the answer to that. Neuro-linguistic programming.
Linguistic.
Yeah. So basically what it is
it
looks at kind of how people think.
The language of thinking.
Exactly. That's literally what NLP means. Incredible. But yeah, how people think, and if people have kind of issues, fears, phobias, anxieties and stuff, it can really help with that. Just changing the way you think about events rather than tackling the event head on per se. So it's really interesting. So if you go to see like a normal therapist, you'll often just delve into the issue and chat about it for ages, which can make people quite upset. obviously, 'cause if you've had something really traumatic, then
Mhm.
you're just talking about it all the time. So it's a really cool way that you can help those issues without actually talking about them,
Mhm.
which is cool. So
Yeah.
I'm training to do that. It was my mum's idea. She's a big fan, and no, I mean, so she's a hypnotherapist,
Uh-huh.
so she hypnotizes people and makes them scary. Do all kinds of
Everyone who has
bank
seen Get Out is like,
robberies.
stop watching the video right now.
Yeah, with the spoon.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, she's like, "Oh, I think you really like this because I quite like looking at how people think about
Mm.
things in general.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of jobs that require working with people. Obviously making the movie,
Mhm.
but also I've worked in sales and I've worked as an instructor in things and I've worked a barman as well. So a lot of interacting with
So if you're
people of all
hiring,
types.
no.
I'm very qualified. But no, like in terms of it's interesting. I've interacted with a lot of people
Yeah.
in the workforce, and a lot of people from different areas as well. So not only people from one kind of
Mm.
background.
Mm.
So it's interesting to kind of look at how people think through decisions they make and stuff
Mhm.
like that, because you can use NLP for evil, because you can influence the way that
Yes,
people think
obviously.
about things, and you can make
I
sure
think
that you
about
get on them
you.
really well.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm really enjoying it so far. It's split up into like 14 modules, I think, 13.
Mhm.
But I'm taking it at a steady pace, module a week. And yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
It's very well broken up. It's like an online course. Actually, it calls into question my uni courses. Like, so the modules are split into usually videos of like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They give you the book beforehand.
Mhm.
They both post it out, and there's an online version.
Mhm.
So the post one hasn't arrived, obviously, because Corona. But it's on the way. But they give you the full downloadable copy.
Mhm.
Each 20 to 30-minute lesson has its own downloadable stuff, so like extra reading or
Mhm.
videos that kind of accompany that as well,
Yeah.
or like PDFs and stuff, just to kind of help with that thing. It is very well documented and proven that about 25 minutes is the full attention span of
Yeah.
anyone, which is why an hour-long lecture is kind of silly. And I think all my best lecturers at uni have always had a break halfway through. Just a minute, 2
Like
minutes.
you don't actually start at the very beginning. You give them some time of like blah 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 if you're not paying attention to this. And
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
No, I think all my good ones have been like, okay, 25 minutes in,
Mm.
you know, grab some water, check your phone, go to the toilet, whatever.
Mm.
Because it means you're not, like, especially in this world, we're all so connected. You're not constantly like, oh, my phone's going berserk. You're like, I can check it.
Yeah.
You know, I can concentrate because I know that my concentration doesn't have to follow a full hour. You've
Mhm.
got just 20 minutes. So these lessons are really well cut up. So I usually do like one, watch a 5-10 minute YouTube video, bit
Mhm.
more fun, grab some food, whatever, watch another one, you know, like just keep them broken up.
Yeah.
They're going up just faster than I'm doing them. So I think module 4 or 5 has just gone up. I'm
Mhm.
module 3.
Mhm.
So like that's good. You know, it's
If you
ahead
do
enough that if you want to
yeah.
rush ahead, you can, or if you've got some extra time to make some ground, but not enough that you can watch all 14 in a day and go,
I forgot everything.
yeah. So it kind of forces you to pace that a little bit,
Nice.
which is
Yeah.
nice. Really
How
clear,
much? How
concise.
many hours do you get out of it until you know?
I think it's around 120. So
Jesus.
it's a lot of teaching time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, because if you think about it, like,
A
do
uni
compare it to a
course
uni
is
course,
nothing. Yeah, considering
that's
we
way
could
more.
usually get what 3 lectures a week
I would say maximum of 3, well, per course, I
for
guess.
per course, but this is like one course. So 3 lectures per course per week.
That's
You've got a
11 weeks.
11-week semester, so what's that? 30, 40 hours.
Yeah.
40 hours max with seminars, maybe 45.
Oof, I don't have that many lectures per course. I usually have,
Okay.
well, my courses usually don't have more than 2.
Okay, I usually get. Oh, maybe I do only have 2 because I have 6 lectures.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
definitely
a
way less.
lot of time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it's all superfluous stuff as well. Everything feels like it's building towards a larger
Damn.
whole. There is also reading, like there is a book.
yeah.
So it's the same as a uni in that regard. The course is significantly cheaper than a uni course. I don't know, like because obviously
Oops.
it gives you the qualifications you need to actually do something and help
Yeah.
people. And then comparing that to, I mean, I'm doing a philosophy degree, which for employability isn't bad, but it's not great either. you're definitely still fighting for jobs
Because
when you got the experience.
after the course, you're going to be a certified therapist.
Yeah, we've got 2 different certifications
Huh.
that you get. So there's the American Board of whatever, on this kind of
Very good board.
information just goes straight over. But there's also like the big one, the medical something or other. But it's like the one that you want. So we get both, which is
Nice.
nice, which is really nice. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's kind of it calls into question,
Yeah, definitely like the
you
kind of
know,
learning infrastructure and institutions, I guess. Yeah, I mean, especially now with like the whole thing of
especially
like
now.
teaching
And we're getting emails from uni
different
being
teaching
like,
ways.
"Oh, we're gonna try and record your lectures, and we'll do like a
Actually,
staggered lecture
I
system."
got another email today,
Oh yeah.
and it was far more, well, didn't say anything. It was just like, we are planning to start uni like in week 1 as we've planned. So like the programs will start then, but it didn't say anything about how.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, they're still planning to have the semester start at the same time, but they
Yeah.
just have no idea how.
Because that's something I don't understand really. Is like, so I definitely am quite an auditory learner,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Um, and the way I like to think about things is that. So in a lecture, I don't really get any benefit from being there. I'm not going to ask a question in front of 200 people that, because I mean maybe one, but if people are asking questions in lectures, if you ask more than one question, you need to, it's not the place. You know,
Yeah,
talk to the lecturer after, post it on one of the forums that do exist, and go organize a meeting with them or ask it in a seminar.
in a
It is
seminar.
not the place to ask that many questions in front of all these people. These lectures are really well timed out. Usually, they have 50 minutes of content to deliver in 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting that like they're kind of apprehensive to record the lectures because it
Yeah.
ruins the prestige of the uni or whatever. I'm like, see if I could listen. Like instead of falling asleep to podcasts, I could fall asleep to my lectures,
Yeah.
and that would just tick away. You know, you would just take that in passively. If you could listen to 30 hours of teaching,
Yeah.
4 times,
Yeah.
you'd learn it so much better.
Yeah.
And that hesitation to record it is
I
very
didn't know.
tricky.
And I think obviously that is your way of learning, but for the
Yeah.
people that do want to they need that kind of presence being in the space with the lecture and stuff, they would still get that being in the lecture theater while it is being recorded.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you would have it, well, I don't know, with COVID
No, but I
probably you
was
wouldn't
what
get
my
it.
hope was that this situation would force the uni to record their lectures,
Yeah.
and then naturally
That they
in
have
month,
it
2 months
anyways.
time, they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
That was my kind of hope that okay, maybe uni starts properly in November, December,
Yeah. That they
but
get the
they've recorded
yeah.
lectures every lecture, so they can. But yeah, if you're recording normally, like normal term time, there's no issue there. Just record what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll see.
but this, so like the way this course is set up, my NLP course, if I need to like jog, so I'm not very good at analogies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I prefer to remember the message than the analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this whole bit we did of like the mind, the consciousness, etc., being like the screen and the projector and the video and stuff.
Yeah, the film.
And I really struggled to remember which one was which. And like I can tell you exactly what
What
the
all they
meaning is. It's
yeah.
like, oh, okay, you know, your mind is nothing without the consciousness and blah blah blah. But that's fair. If I've got that wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not really thinking about
That
that.
was way too vague to be
Right
or wrong.
But I can work my way through that. But the actual analogy takes me way longer to like apply it.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm like, okay, I need to remind myself real quick of what that is, I can just, they're so well labeled. Watch the 10-minute video on the mind, watch the 10-minute video on consciousness. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's great. Rather than these huge hour-long behemoths of like, I think this topic was in, it might be part 1, part 2, or part 3 of Kantian ethics.
Yeah, yeah. No, that would be quite interesting if you would take like the lecture that is broken up in 2 parts with a pause in between. If you could then just have two videos.
Two videos, yeah. I mean, it'd take a bit more work, but these people are getting paid a lot of money.
I'm not sure if it would take that much more work.
You need someone to edit the videos.
Okay.
I don't think it'd take a ton, but like lecturers are paid well. I know they like to think they're not, but compared to most people in the UK, they're paid very well.
And they, I would say each school has their own IT department, even if it's just one person.
Yeah, I mean,
Just make that 2 more people or so,
yeah,
and
it wouldn't take very long, and that's
mm,
their job to just sit through lectures and cut them up.
hmm.
Heck, we managed to do it for these.
Honestly, a lot of students would probably easily do that because it's like what you probably have done that as well. As like one person records it on like just a
Yeah, I record it on an
on a
audio thing.
yeah,
Yeah, just as
and
you're
just
listening
share it
to it,
with
just
people.
space or snippet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's kind of it's shown me like I'm really enjoying this course.
Mhm.
And I kind of like I just much prefer the way it's taught, and it
Mhm.
makes me want to pursue. So there's like a similar course in hypnotherapy as well.
Mhm.
And I was kind of like, yeah, because it means so hypnotherapy is really good for phobias as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
Um, and that kind of thing. And there's by extension from phobias, but like say your uni students, which is obviously where we are, is uni area. So if there's people that are scared of public speaking or they've got anxiety about an upcoming exam, like there's a lot of
Mhm.
people there that need help, and the waiting lists for counselors at uni is hilariously long. Or I don't know if hilarious is the right word, but
I
like
wouldn't say that's the right
I
one.
mean, okay, so you're looking at about 8 week waiting time for a 6 week stint, and then you have to reapply,
Yeah.
which is insane. And 6 weeks is 6 sessions, so like there's a lot of people that need a lot of help, and if you were able to help everything
Yeah.
or pretty much everything, that'd be really cool as well. But I'm like, if
Yeah.
it's taught the same way, I'm more than happy uh, to do that because it's really engaging. I'm actually enjoying doing the course
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
and learning about. I think,
I think it would be quite interesting to also have, let's say, if a lot of peers do that, then to actually have a base of peers that can help each other out. Because then it's not even, it doesn't have to be like on a professional level as like you're gonna pay me or something, but you just
yeah,
have a base of people you can talk to that are way more accessible than the uni could be.
yeah. I mean, just the course in general. Like, obviously, this is quite a big thing, but they do like little, smaller like master classes or whatever
Workshops.
that are very affordable, like less than 50 quid.
Mm-hmm.
It says Ali Campbell, it's the guy I'm doing it with.
Wow.
There's your advert.
There it is.
But yeah, like so he does a lot of smaller things, and I think thinking about the way you think is
Mm-hmm.
a really important skill because I think it allows you to place yourself in other people's shoes much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, if you have control over that, because then you can change the way you think in order to understand someone
yeah,
else,
you can
or
see.
and thereby be like, okay, now you gotta do what I did in reverse in order to
Yeah, I
approach
mean,
your
thinking
fears
like
in a different
uni,
way.
we're obviously quite debating people.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy a debate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so many falling outs I see like in the pub are just people that are in opposing views and neither is willing to budge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what's the point in having this discussion? You know, it could be a vegan and a meat eater.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if none of you are willing to accept that you're wrong on a point, there's no point
Mm-hmm.
to this or Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did theology in first year, and the amount of people that are like, so I'm atheist, um, but like the amount of people that would attack me for that, and then I'm like, I'm more than happy to do this discussion. I've done philosophy for like what 7 years now at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know my points, my arguments. Like, I'm happy to just, and I'm willing to also budge off. Like, there are lines that I'm willing to go to in terms of
Mm-hmm.
there could have been a creator.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. What caused the Big Bang? Like, okay, it could be science, it could be someone snapping their fingers, but there is no evidence for that Christian God, as far as I'm concerned. But people that aren't willing to do that and like budge
Mm-hmm.
off of points, like creationists, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, it's unlikely. You know that the world is what 8,000 years old. It seems
Seems unlikely by everything that.
sure, but if you've only got blind faith, you've kind of just got to say, okay, this isn't an argument worth having because you're not going to convince me through faith. It's not
Yeah.
something I have in God.
No, then it's
Um,
absolutely the point of like, okay, you just believe what you want to believe because you're not actually putting yourself in a position
yeah,
where our discussion
it's not
w-
compatible.
is gonna. No, you're also not approaching that discussion with a I want to be convinced or dissuaded from something. You're approaching that discussion from just like I'm.
This is what I believe and I'm right,
Yeah.
which I never get because especially like I think what's really important to me is people think about what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's when people like try and convince you. So I did theology, so maybe I was asking for it. But like,
Yes.
because people do ask, "Oh, what do you believe in?" I'm kind of like, "Oh, whoops." Um, but I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I'm quite happy with where my conclusions are, and I'm very happy to be convinced I'm wrong. But if someone's like, "I'm going to convince you that you're wrong," and goes, "But you don't have faith. You have to have faith," and I'm like, "Well, that's
I
not something
guess.
I have. It can't be given. It can't really be learned. You
Mm-hmm.
either have it or you don't." So if that's your argument, then what's the point? Like, why would you start this debate? Whereas I'm quite happy with the points I have,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, I could probably convince someone
Mm-hmm.
at least down a level,
Mm-hmm.
towards a closer mid where
Mm-hmm.
I sit. Um, so I'm happy to have that discussion. Whereas if I was like, I've got nothing, so like, there's a few topics that have come up that I'm like not comfortable debating because I just don't know enough.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that's another silly thing. People have
No, and
opinions on things that they don't know about.
I also like when, in that sense, I like when people question me, because it's like if I can articulate and think through why I believe what I believe or think what I think, I'm going to be way more steadfast in that. And
Mhm.
if through that discussion I come to some other kind of conclusion, then I'm like, oh, okay, thank you for making me aware of the fact that I don't
Yeah,
actually believe what I believe or think what I think.
for sure.
Um,
I think there's a place for subjective thought as well there. So like, I know
oh,
I'm not a
always.
huge fan of musical films, but I also know there's no objective reason for that. It's just a subjective thing. So I'm
Yeah.
never ever gonna argue. So I know like you want to get into musical theater.
Mm.
I'm never gonna say, "Oh, that's silly because musical theater is terrible." I'm like, no, I know musical theater is really good. People really enjoy it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
But if I went objectively trying to
Yeah.
argue that it's bad,
You would probably
I'm an
also
idiot.
not go around being like, oh yeah, this person in musical theater is the best or the worst because he or she or whatever is. And everyone's like, you have no idea what these people have
Yeah,
done,
it's like
are
I'm not going to
capable of.
critique a Bollywood film. I've never, well, I've seen one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I've not seen a ton of Bollywood films. I don't know the bar, and yeah, I think they're cheesy and hilarious. But
Mm.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
go writing IMDb reviews. Like,
Yeah.
it's not my place.
Absolutely.
So I think that's also really interesting when people critique things that they just don't
Hmm.
know about.
Hmm. Educate yourselves.
Educate yourselves. Yeah, definitely, 100%. Um,
No, and also like if you're not educated and then approach a discussion from that point of view, you're like, this is my limited knowledge, um, and that makes me come to those conclusions. Is there more to learn? And if that person, if the other person is then like, okay, you got to know about these things,
mm,
that would change your mind probably. Then it's like, oh, thank you for that information. I will go and look at what I can do with this, and then maybe come back to it.
yeah, 100%.
That was very white.
I understood that.
No,
Sure, I would.
thank you, thank you.
Um,
No, but that's you doing NLP
yeah, that essentially, I guess.
essentially.
Definitely
I
just
know.
understanding how people think.
I'm very glad that I know that you've only started doing this now. Otherwise, I would be very suspicious of like how much have you been reading my mind, looking into where I look when I think.
Yeah, so there's cool things. There's like oh god, it's eye accessing. That's what it's
Mm.
called. So the where you look corresponds to how you think
About what you're.
about what you're thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like past creation, auditory, whatever, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But it's I was skeptical until of course you try it and you go.
God damn it! They thought this through.
Yeah, like this is true. You know, it really works. So it's really cool, but it does cause me because we definitely, while we obviously have chemistry, otherwise we wouldn't be
Oh.
here. I hope that's I know, cute. But I think we don't agree on everything. So the whole thing is a
No.
lot of people need to have stuff in common to be friends with someone. And like we're very different people. Like we did that 30 days of movie thing. Okay, yes, we
Oh
both like
yeah.
movies, but every single one was different.
Yeah.
And it's like we're not actually that similar. We just I think
Surely not the same is the thing. Like.
yeah, but we have very similar goals.
Uh-huh.
I think different ways to get about them. So again, that's why like as a company,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know a lot of people that have started a company with a mate,
Mhm.
and they're the same person essentially. And like, or in fact, there's so we've
Or
got
like
some
they're very
friends
far
that started
apart.
that party business.
Oh yeah.
Hi, if you're watching this.
Mhm.
Unlikely. But it was a group of I think 4 or 5 dudes,
Mhm.
and they're all big in that kind of rave scene. I don't know, not for me.
Mhm.
But like they know the scene really well, but none of them are good with money.
Mhm.
And you're like, you're just missing that. You
Mhm.
know, that key
Business stuff.
business thing. But like they've got the rest of it covered. But because all 4 of them are just the same person,
Mhm.
you've got a problem.
Mhm.
But I think we think about things in a very, very similar way.
Yeah.
Which means that even when we're disagreeing, we can disagree in a way that actually leads to a better
Yeah,
outcome.
I mean, mostly it's like we disagree because of the subjective points
Yeah.
of the matter. And then it's like, okay, we're kind of like, I totally agree with what you're saying, but not for me.
No, 100%. I think we're both. I don't want to say switched on because that sounds kind of mean, but essentially, yeah, enough to know that that's fine.
Mhm.
So a lot of people get really upset about that,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, people are different. That's okay.
That is okay.
But I think the way we think about, like the way we get to the conclusions we get to, is
Mhm.
very, very similar.
Mhm.
So that helps.
Helps.
Helps for
For
sure.
sure.
Maybe we'll start with badminton or something. But apart from that, for now, I am not the fitness.
You're not the fitness one.
Yeah, you went to the gym almost daily.
I'm wearing sport shorts right now, just in case I get a.
I'm in pajamas.
Some kind
So
of.
maybe you get an idea there.
Yeah, we'll see. Not a lot of sport for me these days. I might pick that up. I'm
I
getting
did
a
a
bit of
couple
like.
sit-ups yesterday and was like, nah.
Did you?
Yeah, I was really bored.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's totally true. When I get bored, I'm like just walking about the flat and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just pop a handstand and it's like, okay.
No, so I've
Moving
got
on.
a balance board I use for ski training.
Yeah.
And I did quite a lot of it before we were meant to go skiing. Obviously, skiing was cancelled. And I was waiting for all these videos to re-render. And sometimes I do it while listening to the NLP course, actually. So I hopped on for like 10 minutes and was like, "How my legs are kind of sore. I'll just stop." And I was like, because usually I walk what 2 hours a day
Yeah, to and
to
from uni.
and from uni, and then just about, and it's just not for months. And I was like, no. I know my parents are gonna watch this and be
I was
like,
thinking the same thing. Damn.
but yeah, and then I don't know what possessed me, but I was like, maybe planking's for me. It's not for me.
I mean, that's kind of like where I am at right now. Is like I would have to go for 2 weeks and like just get some consistent work done before it's not just like in terms of physically okay, because I still think I'm fit enough to do everything and be okay with it, but just to get in a mental routine of like, I'm just gonna work out on these days, and
yeah,
that's not something I have to like convince myself to do because it is so it's
it's
just
just your
a
routine.
Monday,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I do want to clarify to my mother, who is inevitably watching this.
yeah.
I was doing squats on the balance board. I wasn't just standing on it. So
Wow.
like effort was being put in.
Damn.
So just putting out
You're
there.
totally outplaying me here because I definitely haven't done anything.
This was one time, don't worry.
Okay.
And I did get tired. But I wasn't just standing there going, "Oh, this is tiring."
such sad life, honestly.
Oh,
But yeah,
you'll find it.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Um,
Shall we go through more of what we do?
I think so. So continue that. So the videos usually
Don't.
videos rendered.
Yeah.
NLP course for the day. Done.
Usually.
We set about uploading that.
Yeah.
Then we cook dinner.
Usually,
How
yeah.
that happens. So we've been cooking together. It's been lovely.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, it's fair. So I'm obviously British, so we have very bland food, and you're European, so you eat more salt than, I don't know, Crate. Star Wars Episode 8 reference. Terrible. So I think we've kind of met a midpoint where I force you to eat meat, and you force me to destroy my internal blood systems.
To accept a pinch of salt here and there.
Pinch. You know, a pinch is officially 0.34 grams.
Really?
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely make sure that the two
More
of
than a
us
pinch goes in.
that the two of us never exceed the recommended 5 grams of salt
You gotta remember, I eat a pack
daily.
of crisps a day.
Yeah, that's on
I'm
you,
killing
bro.
myself.
That is on you, bro.
No, it's fine. I feel like we've toned it down a little bit, but that's also very exciting. We've toned down
Yeah,
meat eating,
that's definitely true.
so we've met a nice midpoint.
Uh-huh.
You're definitely the better,
No,
the
let's
more
say
eager chef.
that's the thing. Like, I actually enjoy cooking.
I hate it.
And that's why I'm totally cool with doing the cooking, and you happily or not, but you accept the fact that you do
You really don't
the
mind the dishes.
dishes more often
The
than me.
dishes really don't bother.
Yeah.
We do kind of alternate, but like I always sneakily, I'm like, oh, today's chicken Kiev day, so I will put them in the
In the
oven.
event.
Cooking is done.
Jonas, how do you want the chips to be done? Like, do you want to peel the potatoes? And like, I'm just like,
To be clear, Jonas leaves the potatoes in the cupboard. In fact, I do want to ask you guys this, right?
right.
Jonas leaves the potatoes in the cupboard until they start growing. Right? There's like stuff coming out of them. A whole
Don't
plant.
exaggerate this now.
Oh
Don't
no.
exaggerate
You know
this
there's
now.
like good like inch long
No.
white things. I don't even know how potato. I've never seen that happen before to potato in that's being edible. It's a lot of
Not
whites.
even a centimeter.
Yeah, I always keep my potatoes in the fridge and they never grow.
Ah.
Jonas thinks it's normal.
Well, first of all, I've never kept potatoes in fridges ever, because they're just supposed to be stored in a dark, dry place, and that's where I store them.
And that's where they grow.
And then again, they usually start growing before they are out of date, so it seems to be a very natural thing to do. And definitely, I don't let them grow until I guess that's like the roots starting to grow, till they turn black. That's definitely a hard pass. That's when they have to go. But
Way roots.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's easily. I don't eat them. I cut them out, and then we're good to go.
Fair.
I don't know. I'm very like, I definitely have the mentality of like food and dates. You know, when it's out of date and stuff. If it still looks good, tastes good, smells good, there are definitely things where I'm way more apprehensive when it comes to meat.
Yeah, 100%.
Certain kinds of meat, or like eggs. Don't wanna mess with that. But honestly,
see, I've been
especially vegetables, I could care less. If that looks a bit, just cut it away and then
so I
eat the
come from.
rest.
I've been quite ill over the past 2 years.
Yeah, I know you don't want a chance.
And I've spent a lot of time trying to get back to like where I was, because it was really at the end of 2017, start of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably like peak fitness,
Mm-hmm.
and then it all just went downhill. And I've never quite got back to that level.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually quite tuned, I'd say.
Toned.
Yes. But I've never managed to get back to that level of fitness,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep getting ill every time I get close.
Yeah.
So I take far less risks, I think, with food. I'm like, if this is gonna make me, I don't know, I just react badly to anything, it seems.
Mhm.
So I know there's a whole mentality thing there, like if you think you're gonna get ill, you're not. I'm trying very hard not to,
Mhm.
and it seems to be working since I've
Mhm.
gone out of my way to eat healthily and stay away from everything that might make me ill. Like I even remember, so I ironically got a throat infection 3 weeks ago. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
4 time.
Probably.
It was a while ago, but like during COVID, I remember on the phone to NHS,
Mm.
and they were like the NHS 111, because it was weird dying of Sunday. Which if you're abroad, of course, many of our viewers are, is like the 24-hour phone service.
Yes.
That you can get referred to out of hours doctor.
And doctor.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, have you been outside at all?" Like they're just checking I don't have COVID, essentially.
Mhm.
I was like, "No, we've been self-isolating or whatever." Like, oh, why?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, because we're meant to. Like,
Because-
all the pubs are shut.
Yeah.
All my friends have gone home, like to abroad countries.
We're supposed to stay in.
You're supposed to stay inside, and I can get food delivered. Why would I go outside?
Yeah.
There is nothing outside for me.
Mhm.
Like, we live together.
And
If I was stuck alone, then sure. But like,
yeah.
She just seemed really surprised that I'd broken or hadn't broken the rules.
Yeah.
I was just a bit like, this is what we're meant to do. She's like, oh, right.
I mean, I guess
Do you have vulnerable family members? I was like, no. Like, I'm just
it's
being a
just
good
so
person.
telling about the situation in the UK as well.
100%. But no, yeah, so I ended up getting ill anyway. But that healed up pretty quickly, and I was kind of
Yeah,
well
that's true.
to 2
I
weeks.
mean, you were very quick to respond to it.
I caught it early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Irritating, but yeah, it's
Irritating.
fine. But no, so I'm definitely hesitant with like food stuffs.
It's okay.
The last thing I want is to get ill for something.
Honestly,
Stupid like
I'm happy to
You can keep eating
sacrifice
those.
myself.
Good. I still remember the time. So I needed to go to hospital. This was last year,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Sure, I need to go to hospital." We'll not get into why. But I was like, "I'm gonna drive though, because I know like technically I think it's illegal for you to drive my car."
Mm-hmm.
But like even
because
then,
you're
I
not
was like,
insured.
yeah. I think my mum is. I'm not sure if my insurance actually covers.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think you can't. But I remember driving myself to hospital with you in the car, like, thanks to the company.
No, especially later on. I think it was your parents who were like, "You didn't let Jonas drive."
I was like,
Like-
no, it's my car.
Mhm.
I even did that twice actually, because I remember driving with a temperature. I don't think it was too high. I think it had clinched 40 degrees though. Yeah.
That's really
That's
high.
really high. But it's the point where you start to feel cold, which is dangerous. I knew straight away. I was like, okay, I need to get myself to hospital. And I drove myself there, and I got the meds and stuff, and I was cleared to go home. And they were like, "Oh, how did you get?" I was like, "Oh, I drove." Like, "Oh, right. Can the person that drove you here drive you back?" I was like, "No, I drove myself." They're like, "You did what?" And I was like, "I needed to get here."
God
To be
damn
very
it.
clear, the hospital is literally round the corner. Like, it's not far at all. But yeah, maybe not the safest. This was at like 2 a.m. The roads were empty, I think. I don't know. I only saw a couple of pedestrians on the road. They were just lying there, though. I don't understand why.
As long as you're putting no one else except yourself at risk, then it's like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. But no, I've definitely done that a few times.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely when you were driving yourself and myself, you were definitely in a position where I was like, you can happily drive
I can
because
happily drive.
you seemed fit to drive.
I seem fine, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So let's go. We cooked dinner.
Yes.
We cooked dinner.
Going
Weird
back.
second. I don't quite know got there.
Yeah. And usually
And
eat with either some more just like watching. Usually we then end up
it's a
like
movie or
film.
TV.
Yeah.
Movie or Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So we are trying to get through it. It's kind of a bit of stuff.
It is a bit long by now.
It's a lot of I think as well the first 2-3 seasons aren't the strongest, which kind of I want to watch it all, but like we're getting to the good stuff, but it's just been a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of filler. So that's Clone
true.
Wars if you've not caught.
That's true.
But yes, we usually watch that or a movie. I'm notoriously bad at choosing films. I feel like I did. We watched Euro Trip yesterday.
That was crazy.
I love it. It's such a fun film. But like
It's pretty bad.
I struggle finding a movie. Bad in a good way though.
Yeah, I mean it's fun, but I think what you said yesterday about was absolutely right. It's just a bunch of collages.
Yeah, it's a sketch.
It's like
a sketch.
yeah, a bunch of like, oh, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, and let's just try and find a way how to make all these
Chuck it
things
together.
into one film.
But it's on Netflix. I'd say it's worth a watch. It's good fun.
Yeah.
Like, it always makes us chuckle. So, but yeah, we watch a film and then play some video games.
Yeah. I know that's like it's a bit muddled, I guess, because sometimes we also just have dinner because we have a set time when to play when it's organized with friends.
So there's Monday night and Friday night, or official game time nights.
And if that is scheduled, then we just have to be there on time. And then we sometimes watch a movie afterwards, and there's still time, and everyone's gone off to sleep
sometimes
because
people
they're
go off
tired.
at like 10, 11, like that's what's like.
Still enough time. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of.
It's usually between midnight and 1 a.m. that we then retire to our own separate rooms, and
yes, you usually watch what, TikTok videos for another 10 hours?
No, I wouldn't say that. There's no usual. I've done that once, but I do.
I've been very tired this past week for some reason.
Well, we've already established that was because of the heat.
No, that's usually when I, especially this last week, have done a lot of tech troubleshooting. Which, if you press the bell icon, you'll know about because you'll get a little notification every time I start a stream.
Yes, press the bell I
Press
could
it.
press
Press
it.
subscribe and like the video. Thank
Yes.
you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Who said that? 55 minutes in. Bit
Yeah.
late. But yeah, there's definitely mind. It's gone.
What?
Oh no. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh, that's when I do my tech troubleshooting.
Yes.
I feel like I stay up later than you.
Yes, I
Right.
do think so too.
Yeah, cool. I'm usually about 2 to 3:30.
And I think you also just like you're still working. Whereas like if I stay up that late, I'm literally just like in bed going like
Oh no, like I'm wired until I
phone.
go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's actually something because when I was struggling with sleep more because
Mhm.
sleeping is not a luxury I get anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like don't lie in your bed unless you're trying to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Which has really helped actually. Because
Okay.
I think you mentally associate bed with sleep time.
Yeah.
So
Rather than just like hanging out time.
yeah,
Mhm.
which is definitely what it used to be like. I was a big fan, and also I never noticed it because obviously this is my bed.
Yes.
This is Jerry. But this light panel is not a light panel. It's a TV. I don't think that's ever been shown on camera. Actually, has it?
No, hasn't never been on camera.
So I could quite easily happily watch TV.
Yeah.
From bed, and I don't. I always like, oh, right, I'll go to sleep now. So I turn off all my computer stuff. So there's 2 mirrors here.
Yeah, that's really good.
Turn off all that. I then go onto my phone and watch YouTube. And I'm like, what am I? Why?
Very
Right, stop
mystifying the
that. So I
point.
often just stay up slightly later,
Uh-huh.
watch like the YouTube I've got, and then go on my podcast.
Yeah. No, I think for me, strategy could be to literally just leave my phone
in the living room.
somewhere. Like it doesn't have to be in the living room, but just like somewhere else that it's
Balcony.
not close to my bed. First of all, that would help me to not be on my phone before falling asleep or while being in bed. And second of all, for the alarm that I still have set, even though we don't have anything to get up
Can't
for,
believe you left an alarm on.
I still have an alarm so I don't oversleep. Or like if then it's a conscious decision of like, you know what, I don't have anything on, I'll sleep for another hour. No, but I would then have to get up to turn that off, and I might actually get a proper rhythm and like
Yeah.
because I got up.
Hopefully not too much room, because if you start going to bed at 11, I'll be horrendously bored.
No, I mean, that's the thing. I don't need a lot of sleep. Like, it's definitely between 6 and 7.5 hours is perfect.
Okay.
I think as soon as I go above 8 hours, I'm sleeping to the point where I'm tired again.
Yeah, nice.
And that's why I have the alarm, because if I wake up, I'm like, okay, I feel ready to go, then I should just get up and do stuff. Because if I then keep sleeping, then I will just be tired again,
Fair.
which would
See,
be a shame.
I like a nice 8 hours, I think. But I don't think I get that anymore. I don't really know how long I sleep. Definitely been better lately.
Who knows?
Who knows? Especially with my weird dreamscape I'm getting in the moment.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Absolutely.
Just don't dye your hair red. Any of you. It's not... I don't know.
It really depends on the red.
Really, it was just in my dream. I was like, it's just such a horrible color. It's like bright. It's like,
I don't know. People can do whatever they want, you know?
People can do whatever they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have gone for almost a monkish hairstyle.
Monkish?
Yeah, like, because their clippers have just kind of broken on the tops. They've got like...
Oh no.
It's not great.
Honestly, it's not that difficult.
Yeah, you cut your own hair.
Several times.
Yeah.
Several times.
Obviously, I can't believe it's long as you have. Just looking
That's
at
alright.
Yeah. I gotta cut it short for the first time in forever.
That is actually so fun, because you can go back to our first 2 videos with you with like a really, really long hair.
As long as it's ever been.
You look like you're a 80s rock star. Honestly, it's amazing. But it's quite funny to go back. I don't know, it's not even that long ago. It's like 2.5 months.
2.5 months, yeah. 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 months.
3 months now. But like, you can see a lot of progression from then on, just in terms of how we look.
Yeah, you can tell the days I shower in the morning or in the evening. Well, if it's in the morning, it's all nice.
Poofy.
Together. No, it goes poofy if I don't watch it. especially because it's been hot lately. It's been
Oh
really
yeah,
fluffy.
that's true.
But yeah, I think that is all we do.
All we do.
For our hardcore fans that made it an hour in,
Yes.
we're going to give a wee update on our movie.
Yes.
Probably should have done this at the start, but I don't think I had well enough. I forgot we're doing that.
No, I think that's all right.
I think that's all right too. Our film, sadly, is a little delayed.
Yes.
So we're hoping to get it out mid-May, which, if you're keeping track, has passed. We are now into June, and it's looking like we'll be mid-July for release.
Yes. So it's probably going to be done by the end of the month. Pretty close to the end of the month. And we definitely want to give enough time between it being done and us showing it for the first time, that we get it all organized and prepped properly. Because we do want to check out the possibility of obviously having some kind of a premiere that is live streamed or online, so we can get a lot of you guys involved in having a premiere, and everyone who was involved in the film, for us to have like a proper screening together, and just to troubleshoot that.
There's a lot of technical stuff.
Get all the errors out of the way ahead of time.
Yeah, we need to get all the stuff, but it's still set. We're hoping to get kind of online premiere organized when we have more details on that. We'll get them up to you,
of course.
And we're still set for Amazon Prime.
Yes, that will also take some time, but
there's a little bit of technical stuff there needs sorted. But once the film's actually done, we can work on it. So that's all set to go ahead. It's just taken a bit longer than we
have to wait a bit
anticipated.
But the good thing is, if you are subscribed to this channel, you will definitely get updates. If you click like on our other social media, Facebook and Instagram, you will definitely be informed.
We're less active on Twitter, admittedly.
But there's no reason to worry. We will definitely let you know when this is coming out. So you'll be sure to get the memo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll finish up there. So there's no technical issues in this video. I have played around with the settings even more, so there's a good chance that there's something wrong with it. But
we're equipped.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully. I will see you tomorrow. And wait there. Give it a bit, because it's a harsh cut off.
What? So tiring. All this video making. God, Josh, why don't we just never do this again?
I did